Bye. ¿Dónde se quedaron, Roberto? Mr. Miller? You go next?
Yeah, after answer. Yeah. You guys are all done here?
I'll do it.
Okay, it looks to me like enough people are done.
What is it? On how much?
Are you girls not done?
Yeah, we're done now.
Look around the room and see all the people are finished. We have to start, and you guys aren't done.
Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, this is Maria's.
Yes, you guys can do that one. I switched it in the next classes. I didn't do it like that. I didn't say do Maria's because Maria did two things and like one person did none.
So what are we supposed to do?
Just do that one. If that's what you started, just do that one.
This one. Now even? Mr. Miller. Thank you. I smell the bacon.
If you're done, make sure you know how to explain it because I will ask questions. I will ask your group, how do you explain these things? Can you give it to her? She's right at the board in the blue jacket.
Numbers, and then let's say you're 219 pounds, so you can tally here. You do like 20 pounds or whatever. And people put their tallies where they are. And then do another one. The majority of what
Do them towards that way, okay? There, those are my Mr. Miller, he's putting a breath in
Yeah, how do people find it? Like, what? Well, first you want to say what this is. What is this a chart of? I think it's of weights of 7th graders.
Like it's a bar graph, but they're
Okay. Exactly. They're in groups of numbers, and so that's called a different word. What's it called?
bar or something.
It starts with an H. An histograph? Yeah. And the thing about a histogram is just like you said, instead of being like just being the number 5, it's a group of numbers. And so that's the difference between a bar graph and a histograph. And so you want to say that. You can say, this is a histograph, and you make it just like you would a bar graph, only you use intervals. Those are called intervals of numbers instead of just single numbers.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
And there's a whole thing about how to figure out what intervals. What are the intervals there? They go by how many numbers? How many numbers are in each interval?
29.
Actually, there's more than 19 because look at a count from 100. Go. Okay, you've got 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, all the way up. You're gonna end up with 20 because this is like starting at 0. Normally we count from 1, but we're starting from 0. Yeah. Are there 20 in each one, or is there some that have 20 and some that have 50? Do they all have the same number?
Yeah. We do it now? Can we do it now?
As soon as they're done.
I mean, could they do it now?
Yeah. I think we just got to get these last few people.
Everyone should be done.
Okay, so you guys, wherever you are, let's pretty much put a stop to it. Because we got to have presenters, and I don't want people working while other people are presenting, because then you won't get to listen to what they're saying. What? What? When are we going to present it?
Yeah.
Just right now. Right now. No, it's after. You guys can go last, but you can't be coloring and stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and put the crayons back in the boxes and everything away that you're using.
They stapled this in here.
It's not the end of the world. Put the crayons back in the box. Put your crayons back. Put your crayons back. No, they're going to be presenting.
But look at initiative.
We need to be we need to be totally paying attention so that we hear what they have to say. Because that's how you're going to learn what the other people are doing. It's okay if it's not totally colored in at this point, Ivan. So go ahead and put those crayons away, guys.
We need to get done first.
That's enough to have done. You can explain it from there.
No, let me just.
Nathan, you don't need to do any more bars. As long as you guys know how to explain it, that's okay. So Nathan, that's good. Hanzo, that's good. Put those away. Girls, can you put your crayons away? Put your crayons away now, please. Put your crayons away. You don't need to do that. That's enough.
This graph explains how much people weigh, and like for example, it shows that 3 people weigh 80 to 90 pounds, and like 3 people weigh 160 to 179 pounds, and it also shows that most people weigh 100 to 119 pounds because there are 11 tallies there. It will be a lot easier to determine the average weight by looking at the graph.
Okay. So if you were to look at the graph, could some of you others tell me where the average weight would probably be?
Yeah, well, because right here it tells, there's symbols and it tells everybody's weight.
Uh-huh.
It tells like they put them in the groups, and then they kind of like, when I took a survey, they counted how much people weighed each weight, different weight, and since there's 11 people that weigh 100 to 118 pounds, that's the average weight.
Okay. And that's actually when you take a measurement or you take an average, there's a kind of average called the median, and there's a kind of average also called the mode. We usually do mean, where you add things up like we did on the starter, where you add them all up and you divide by how many there are. But you can also do something called the mode, and that is finding what number happens the most. And so on that, it looks like, in what category do most things happen? Maria? Do you know which category do most things happen in? What weights? What weights are most common?
100 to 119.
Okay. How many people are in that weight category?
11.
Okay. And Nick, did you get a chance to do some of this for this group? And so this was all just yesterday, wasn't it? Okay. All right, so Nick was absent. Okay, thank you girls very much. That's terrific. And then the next group we already had volunteered was, who is the next one? Okay. Girls, you need to put those crayons away before you go. What, Robert? Go. Okay. What? There's too many numbers. What?
How could I say that?
How can you say what?
How many numbers are in the box?
There's 20.
How should I calculate that?
You can say, because you can see from 80 to 99, there's 20. There's even. There's a range of 20 here between 80 and 99. It's called the range. That interval's got a range of 20. There's 1, 2, 3 people in that range. There's 11 people in this one. And there's 4.
So how will you find the average?
Well, just kind of like they said, which one looks like the one where most people are? Oh, that would be the average is kind of like the middle, you know? It's to describe the most typical person. Just like they did in that script. They said, let's just, instead of calling it the average person, let's call it the most typical person. And so what would you say, what is a typical weight, if you were just to say? Somewhere around there? Okay. Okay, we have the next group up. Let's stop. Shh, girls. Okay. All right, go ahead. Okay. Blanca, do you know what's this table called? What kind of a name is it? It's called a something table, and it starts with an F. And it starts with free. Does somebody know what kind of chart this is?
Yes.
Carlos. Yeah, frequency table. And frequency means how often does something happen? If somebody says something is frequent, they usually mean it happened a lot. Well, this is saying how much does something happen in each one of these categories. And you just take a tally and you show how much it happens. Blanca, what weight, like if somebody weighed 250 pounds, would you say they're average or they're not average, according to that table? If someone weighed 250 pounds. Would you say that they're bigger than most of the kids, or that they're about the same size as most of the kids up there? $250 would be about the same? Okay. And then what about, Maria, who would you say, or what is the most common weights up there? Okay. How many people weigh between those two weights? Okay. So if you guys are going to describe your most typical person, is that why you put that star there? That would be the most typical? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, girls, very much. Good job. And who's going to go next?
Right here.
Okay.
We are right here. We go next.
Okay. And you guys want to go too?
Can we go next?
We'll ask again after. We'll decide that afterwards by quietly raised hands. Just on your table for now.
What?
Good job. Shannon.
What was our game? Trip?
Yeah.
Okay, this is our graph. It's a weight thingy, a weight graph, and number of students, and this is the weight. And this graph shows how much people weigh that are between 180 pounds and 199. That is the weight of most of these people. And this one right here only has 3 people between 80 and 99. This one has 11 people between 100 and what's this, 99. And this one has 11 between 100 and 119. This one has 4 between 120 and 139. This one has 2 between 140 and 159. This one has 3 between 160 and 179. And then this one's 2 between 180 and 199. Yeah, that's our graph.
So Ryan, who's the most typical person? What's the most typical weight there? If you were just to describe,
Highest?
no, if you were just to describe, maybe, but someone who you thought was just a typical person who weighed a typical weight in that group of people, what would you say the weight might be?
What? This the biggest one.
What- Okay, which would be what? What weight?
100 between 119.
Okay. Rosanna, if I said that someone weighed 90 pounds, would you say that they were a typical person in that group? Or how would you describe them in relation to that group?
Yes.
You'd say they're more or less typical? Are they more on the thin side or more on the heavy side? 90 pounds. Would that be more on the thin side compared to everybody else or the heavy? Okay.
Depends how old you are. So if you're like 2 and you weigh 90 pounds,
Okay, but in this group, are people 2 years old?
no.
Okay. And
No, just 7.
Yvette, let's see, what would be another one?
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
If someone weighed 115 pounds, would you say they were about average in that group?
100 what? 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the average.
Yvette, what do you think? Yeah? What if they weighed 120? Would you think they're still average? Okay.
Any people have any questions?
No, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys. And quiet hands for the next group to go. I saw Tony and Katie's hands go first. Okay. All right, we got a pretty complicated looking graph here.
Okay. Our graph was eye color, gender, and hair color. And we'll start with hair color. The hair colors we had were black, brown, and blonde and red. There was only 2 people with red hair, so that's like really common. And then there was 5 for blonde hair. And then the highest was black hair, so the most people had black hair. And then for eye color, we had brown, hazel, blue, and green. And the least of all of them was green. And then the second least was hazel, and then the most was brown. And then gender is like boy or girl or sex or whatever. Gender. And most people were girls. So there's more girls than there were guys. You can take the data from each person and put it,
Okay.
It's down to like what 1% was.
Remembering back to when we did, does alcohol cause cancer? Tony, do you think that any of those things are correlated? Do you think that any of those things are correlated? What might be correlated? The what? What would that be correlated with? With what? So do you think a person's sex might cause their hair color or eye color to be different? I don't know. Well, if somebody's a boy or a girl, does that mean that they're like more or less likely to have brown hair or green eyes or something like that? What about hair color? Do you think there's a correlation between hair color and the color of a person's eyes? If somebody has brown hair, do you think they're more likely to have brown eyes?
Yes.
If somebody has blonde hair, do you think they're more likely to have blue eyes?
Yes.
That doesn't mean that every time, right? Some people have blonde hair and brown eyes, and some people have brown hair and blue eyes. But do you think that there might be a correlation there? Can you wait till after the presentation?
Yeah.
Sit down, please. Okay, thank you guys very much. You want to be the next group? Okay, I saw these hands, and then those were second. Okay, you girls are too loud over here when people are presenting. You need to sit in your own chairs.
But I'm sitting.
Sit in a chair, not on the table. Sitting in a chair and looking forward. We're not doing this. We're not talking. I'll hang on to it over here. You're sitting quietly in the chair. Okay, this group is ready to present.
This is our histogram, and we did weight, and turned out the next average was 100 to 109. In this semester there's 4 students, and this one there's 11, and this one there is 4, this one there's 2, this one is 3, and this one is 2.
Melody, how big is the interval, or what's the range of the intervals in weight? I see ones that go from 80 to 80 to what? Okay. What range is that? Okay. And do all of them have the same range? Do you think that's important in making a graph, to make sure that all the intervals have the same range? If you look over on that thing, where, remember in alcohol causes cancer, it says put an X in the box over the shoe size. And remember how some of those weren't spaced out, and some were? Some were spaced evenly, and some were spaced apart. And the ones that were spaced all randomly and weird came out different and didn't look so good. Who said no? Somebody not remember? Okay. So what is the most typical person's weight category, would you say? Okay. So if somebody weighed 130, would you say that they were really weird? Okay. Okay. They're not totally weird, but most people weigh between 100 and 119? Okay. All right, thank you guys very much. And the next group, Jed and Joey. David, can you come sit back here? Can you come sit back here? Yeah, you were looking at them.
He was not saying anything. I was hiccuping. And he was laughing.
We can watch this together later if you like. You need to come sit back here now. You need to come sit back here. I told you at the beginning of class that that would happen if you were talking.
She's wiggling the table and they're blaming me. She's trying to kick me.
Can you all face forward and sit in your chair, please? Sitting down. There's no reason to be standing right now. There's no reason at all to be standing. I'm just separating you guys. I'm not saying you talk.
Why are you filming me?
So that if we ever want to watch it later, we
No,
can.
you better not. Don't film me.
And don't lean back in the chair. It's hitting the wall. Okay, so this group is ready to present. Don't do that now, please. Okay, go ahead, guys.
This is the weight diagram of the students in the class. There is a range of 80 to 199 pounds. We found out that most of the students weigh from 100 to 119 pounds. We have color-coded the bar graph with the number of students and the weight they weigh. This one is the most common because it has 11 people in it. And these two are the least common because they have only 2 people in it. This is like the side that shows like the number of students. This is how much the weight of this stuff is. And here's like the background and scale. He weighs 199 pounds.
So is he heavier than the average person in that group?
Yeah.
Was there anybody that weighed that much in that group from that graph? Could you tell?
199, yeah. There was 2 people who weighed.
Did they weigh exactly 199 or?
They weighed between 180 and 180.
Okay. And how much did that small guy weigh?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah? He weighed 154 to 159.
Oh. Was it?
He's gonna be on the scale next time. He's that big.
How many people? I'm sorry, Joey. Let's not say things like that, okay? How many people weighed between the small in that small group, as much as that small guy did?
This time?
Yeah.
2?
Well, no. Is that the group that that small guy is in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 140 to 159.
Okay.
Actually pretty fat, but she said which one.
So he's actually that small guy up there. He's not the smallest weighing person of the whole group, huh?
These guys are
What's the smallest weight group that's up there?
80 to 99.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. And who's next? Go ahead. Who's next? All these people gone. You guys ready to go? Wow, that's looking good, guys.
Batman now.
Okay, but Gonzo, that's about all we're gonna draw. There shouldn't be any more drawings. We're gonna be listening to these people. What? Okay, Carlos and Linnell and Troy. Okay. Lainell, are you going to read for us? Yeah. Okay.
Two people have 58, so it's like a 1 and an 8. And there's like 52 58
Okay. So this is one of the harder ones that we saw with these stem and leaf plots. This is called a stem and leaf plot. Joy, how many people weighed 61, or how many people are 61 inches tall? How can you tell that by looking at that chart? Okay, next to the what number? Okay. And Carlos, how many people weighed 72 pounds? How can you tell that? Can you show us? Can you point to where you're looking? Because okay. By looking at those two twos, you can tell that there's two people that weighed 72 pounds. And around what weight did most people height? Excuse me. Around what height are most people according to this? Okay. And so if you just had a whole bunch of these numbers just like these people did, what did they do in order to make these things up? You were sort of saying in the beginning, Joy, but how do you make a stem and leaf plot? Carlos, like, how did they do this? How did they know to put the 5 there and a 6 there? I mean, where do those numbers come from? For example, okay, you see in the tens place there's a 5. There's a 5. And then right over there under the ones, there's a 6, an 8, an 8, a 9, and a 9. See where I'm looking? In the very top row? How come those people did that? What does that mean? What are those numbers? Right, but where did that number come from? What is that number originally? Like the 5, what's the 5 and the 6 mean? You told me before, I know. Yeah. Yeah, Joy's right. And then so what's the other numbers? 56, and what comes after that? Okay, 67. Okay, so what they're doing on these things is they're finding the numbers like 58, and they put a 5, if it's got a 58, they put an 8 in the ones column next to the 5. If the number is 65, they put a 5 next to the 6 row in the tens column. This is called a stem and leaf plot, and what it does, one more time, Joey, I know you're getting tired there. You can see that most people were in the 60s. Their heights were in the 60s.
So
Just by looking at that.
So if it's 61, they put like a 1 and a 1?
They'd put a 1, yeah, and it would be next to the 6.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really what? No, I'm getting everybody. It looks like it may look like it's not. Okay, thank you very much. In this group. Quickly, quickly.
I made it. My creation.
I don't know that we're going to get a chance for you girls to present today. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. There's only 2 more minutes. Okay. Let's see this group's artistic work. I know, so we need to have it quiet. Katie, can you sit down so I can see? Okay. Okay. Tell us what you guys got up there.
This is our graph, and this is some fat guy that's like 199 pounds, and this is the average person right here. And the average weight is right here. And that's all.
Alright, we did a part, okay? See? And Nathan was supposed to talk to him, see, he doesn't know what he's supposed to say now because he's a dumb idiot.
You guys lucked out. You guys, I'd like you to finish that tomorrow when we come in tomorrow. You guys got such good work on it. You did a good job.
Mr. Miller.
Why should I write them down?
Oh, paperwork. Let's see the paperwork, Joey. Show the camera your paperwork. That's what I have to fill out for Joey every day. Okay, let's see.
Hey, take this on film. Hey.
Where's the pencil? We need a pencil. Where's the pencil?
No. What? Huh?
Yes.
No. Come on.
Or pen.
Come here.